You've probably got one of these in your freezer right now, and I don't blame you. They look fine on the box, they're quick, they're cheap, and after a long day, that's enough. But some of the most popular frozen lasagnas on the market are built around one goal: cutting costs while making you think you're getting real food. We tested a bunch of them, checked the ingredients, the nutrition labels, the textures, and what we found will change how you shop the freezer aisle for good. The frozen lasagna trap. Most people flip a frozen lasagna box into their cart without a second thought. It's pasta, meat, cheese, sauce. What's complicated about that? But turn that box over and read the actual ingredient list, and you'll find things like carrageenan, sodium phosphate, and modified food starch doing the work that real ricotta and ground beef used to do. Those ingredients aren't just unfamiliar, they're replacements. When a company swaps real cheese for a cheese product and thickens the sauce with cornstarch, you're not eating a faster version of lasagna. You're eating a simulation of it, built to survive months in a freezer and still look good through the box window. Real ingredients cost more and spoil faster, so manufacturers engineer around them with stabilizers, fillers, and a lot of sodium. Number 1, Stauffer's lasagna with meat and sauce. Stauffer's is the name people trust without thinking twice. It's been sitting in freezers for decades, the box looks like comfort food, and that familiarity gets it into your cart before you've even read a word on the label. But flip it over. The sodium alone should stop you cold, pushing close to half your daily limit in a single serving. And most people eat more than one serving. The meat sauce sounds hearty, but it leans on tomato paste, water, and stabilizers to fake that richness. And those thick pasta sheets don't cook evenly in a microwave, so you get soft edges and a dense, chewy center. Stauffer's isn't the worst on this list. It's just the one you're least likely to question. Number 2, Banquet lasagna with meat sauce. Banquet gets to that price point by making substitutions at every single layer, and you don't see the cost until you're already eating it. The meat sauce has so little actual meat that testers have described the filling as paste, and the protein count per serving backs that up. You won't stay full, you'll either eat the whole thing or be back in the kitchen 20 minutes later. The cheese layer is where it gets really bad. What Banquet puts in there isn't cheese. It's pasteurized processed cheese product, which is a legal category that exists specifically because it can't legally be called cheese. It melts differently, tastes different, and delivers none of the protein real ricotta would. And the sodium, scaled to what most people actually eat, gets uncomfortable fast. Number 3, Michelina's lasagna Alfredo. Michelina's goes a different route with an Alfredo sauce instead of tomato, and on paper that sounds like a good idea. In practice, that sauce isn't made from cream, butter, or real Parmesan. It's water, modified food starch, and vegetable oil with flavoring added to fake the taste of dairy, and you can tell the second it hits your mouth. There's a slick, artificial finish that real Alfredo just doesn't have. The fat content runs high for the serving size, but the protein is low, so you get the calorie hit without anything to show for it. And the noodles make it worse. Thick, soft pasta coated in a starch-thickened sauce turns gummy fast, and that's not a texture you can microwave your way out of. Number 4, Great Value Meat Lovers. Lasagna. Meat Lovers is right there on the box, and it sounds like a promise. Multiple meats, a filling with real body to it, something worth sitting down for. But people who've actually cooked this one keep landing on the same complaint. There's almost nothing inside. The cheese layer is thin, the meat shows up in the sauce but doesn't give the dish any real texture, and what you're mostly eating is pasta with tomato sauce. That's fine, but it's not what the label sold you. And the grease doesn't come from good cheese or well-cooked meat. It comes from the sauce fat separating in the tray during cooking, which tells you the sauce wasn't built to survive the freezer in the first place. Number 5, Marie Callender's Italiano Lasagna. Marie Callender's sells you nostalgia. Warm colors on the box, language about hearty home-style meals, the whole thing. And it works because the packaging looks like someone's grandmother actually put thought into this. She didn't. The ricotta layer is stretched with fillers, so instead of that thick, slightly grainy texture real ricotta has, you get a smooth, flat layer that tastes like almost nothing. The mozzarella is real, but the ricotta doing the heavy flavor work isn't. The sauce tries to cover for that with heavy seasoning, lots of salt and herbs up front. But there's no depth behind it because the tomato base is concentrate and starch, not actual cooked tomatoes. High sodium, low protein, pretty box. Number 6, lean cuisine lasagna with meat sauce. Lean cuisine sells you the idea that you're being smart. Lower calories, smaller portion, designed for people who actually care about what they eat. But lower calories just means they cut the fat and shrunk the serving. And what fills the gap is mostly salt, because salt is cheap and it makes thin. Low-fat food tastes like it has more going on than it does. The sodium per serving runs close to products with twice the calories, so you're eating less food and still taking the same sodium hit. And the pasta layers compress during cooking into something closer to a dense flat cake than actual lasagna. Fewer calories from worse ingredients isn't a health strategy. Number 7, Fast Bites lasagna. Fast Bites lives at the gas station checkout and the dollar store freezer. And that location isn't an accident. The ingredient list is short, but not because they kept it clean. It's short because there isn't much real food in it. The meat sauce is mostly sauce, the cheese is a processed blend, and the pasta comes out gummy or rubbery depending on how long you run the microwave. And the sodium is out of proportion for how small this thing is. When there's no real meat, no real cheese, and no sauce with any actual depth, salt carries all the flavor weight. You're paying almost nothing and getting exactly that back. 3 made with real cheese. So after all of that, you're probably wondering if there's anything in the freezer aisle worth actually buying. There is, and you can spot it the second you flip the box over. Real ricotta. Actual ground beef or Italian sausage. Tomatoes, not tomato concentrate mixed with water. The ingredient list is short and every word on it is something you'd buy at a grocery store. Yes, these products cost more. Sometimes quite a bit more. But the box looking similar doesn't mean the food is similar because of the texture, the protein, the sodium levels. They're all in a different category. They're not perfect. Frozen food has limits no matter what goes into it. But what the box says is what's in the tray. Number 8, Rao's made for home meat lasagna. Rao's started as a restaurant sauce brand, and when they moved into frozen lasagna, they didn't lower their standards to meet the freezer aisle. The beef shows up in every bite, not just occasionally, and the pasta sheets run thinner than anything you'd find in a budget option, so they cook evenly and the whole dish comes out lighter. The ricotta is real ricotta. You can tell because it holds its slightly grainy, creamy texture through cooking instead of melting flat into the sauce. Sodium is still in there because frozen food needs it, but the flavor doesn't depend on salt the way cheaper brands do. The ingredients carry the taste on their own, which is exactly how it's supposed to work. Number 9, Amy's vegetable lasagna. Amy's is the odd one out on this list. No meat, smaller portions, and a higher price per ounce than most of what's in that freezer case. But what they do with vegetables and real cheese is worth your attention. Most vegetarian frozen lasagnas fall apart because the vegetables release water during cooking and turn the whole thing soggy. Amy's doesn't have that problem. The zucchini, carrots, and spinach hold up. The ricotta is real ricotta, and there's enough of it that you actually taste it in every bite. The ingredient list reads like a recipe. Organic tomatoes, whole vegetables, real cheese, and no modified starch thickening the sauce. That's genuinely rare on a frozen food label. Number 10, Michelangelo's lasagna with meat sauce. Most people have never heard of Michelangelo's, and that's exactly why it keeps showing up at the top of frozen lasagna taste tests. There's no celebrity behind it, no flashy marketing. It just makes lasagna the way lasagna is supposed to be made, then freezes it. The pasta sheets run thin so they cook evenly, and the layers actually separate when you cut into it. The ricotta has real body to it. The sauce stays in the lasagna instead of pooling at the bottom of the tray. And the meat content is genuinely higher than what you'll find in the budget brands, so the protein number backs up what the box promises. You eat it and you stay full.